Hiya, kids and cadets. Welcome back to Tommy Time. Appreciate you coming out, giving you a Saturday update. My son's on his way. We're going to do some organizing. Had a fantastic week. Everything's going well. Had a sale yesterday. I had an all-wheel drive machine. It was a Husqvarna. I've had it advertised since last year. No interest, had it listed for $250. Sarah messaged me for her husband, and she says, can he call you? He would like the Husqvarna and also has maybe 3 mowers. He wants to see if you'd be interested in taking those. So I talked to him, having a little coffee here. So he had sent me 3 pictures, this Troy-Bilt and then 2 Honda machines. One plastic deck Honda that was cracked and another Honda. And he said, well, what do you give for trades? And I says, normally $10 each. If they've got a bag, I'll pay more. And I says, well, I'll just hold on to them. If they're only $10, it's not worth it loading those up. So he said, I can only get 20s out of the ATM, and you want 250. Will you take 240? I says, bring me the red one, the Briggs and Stratton machine, and we'll do the deal like that. 240 and the Troy-Bilt. He says, oh, but it's missing the grass guard, it's missing the fuel cap, and there's no filter or cover. And I says, I don't care about that. I'll do 10 for it. So I spent a little bit of time last night on that and got it to start. Did my normal carb clean. There was a little bit of water in the bottom of the tank, old fuel in the bowl. I decided to do a valve adjustment, but I had messed up. I had thought I was at TDC, but I was actually 180 from TDC. So go to pull it over, and it's not really pulling over, difficult. Came back, saw my mistake, got it at true TDC, adjusted the valves, and it started. I really couldn't fire it off with happy juice. I was getting no action that way. So when I had taken the cover off, he must have been bushwhacking the shit out of something, because it was all heavy grass like that. So I think he's rough on his machines. He says he's had the other machines for 2 years, always thinking he would fix them and never did. So he said something about one of the Hondas had a rusty deck, and if I could weld the plate where the engine attaches to the deck. And I said, I'm not really, I don't know what I said, not really set up to do any kind of metal fabrication. So I got this thing to fire off at sunset last night. It happens to be a 2012 550EX 140cc. So I have new covers. I threw my own new filter on it, and I have gas caps. I was missing another gas cap this style this week. So I think this will be a good one for a $10 trade. Blade needs some work. So I don't know where he lives, where he's cutting a field. So yesterday, I'm out here working. Another guy shows up that's been here twice so far. He's brought me a mower, some weed eaters. Guy says does tree work. So we had three weed eaters, no, two weed eaters and a blower. And so I worked at that on those just before dark. He said his son could get the Hitachi to fire off. So I went to town on this thing right away, washed it off. Bulb was fine. It was missing one line, one fuel line. Took the carb off, cleaned it. It looked okay. And this thing purred like a kitten. Doesn't look too bad. Oh, Hitachi made in China. I thought that was a Japanese brand. But anyway, I'm happy with this machine. I just used it this morning. Then he had the Murray. So I'm looking at this. That's from a Briggs and Stratton bulb. That ain't the bulb for this, I think. So rotted out line, very sandy, very, very sandy. So I says, I'll give you 5 for this, 5 for the Hitachi. And then he had this. I said, no, this thing's been sitting a long time. And I says, this is the only one they made. I've never seen this style before. This was like one of a kind, I told him. And I handed it back to him. He says, just keep it. You can have it. So he says, how about 15 for everything here? And I said, no, 5 each. So he said, okay, that'll be gas money. So I think this guy's hand to mouth as well, because he's shown up 3 times so far with junk. I didn't want to overpay for this stuff. I overpaid for two Echoes that were missing parts. Carburetors were dangling. So I thought, no. But luckily the Hitachi worked out for me. And I cleaned it up real nice, sprayed it down. It had some dirt on it. Trying to figure a year for you guys. Engine displacement. Looks like a 24cc. Designed for use in Canada and USA only. So maybe that's an emissions thing. But they're basically all the same style. Maybe Hitachi makes them for somebody else as well. 69 decibels. 2015 California Emissions Control certification. Okay, I see a date code here. 6-month 2015. So not a bad looking machine for 2015. I did a compression before I did anything. It was 120, so I progressed with my carby clean. All it needed was that little return hose, which I had in stock, so that was good. So that's the update. Maybe I'll hold on to the Poulan Pro for parts. And when I saw this pull cord, I've done these Murrays before, the 2510s, and that have broken cords, and it's a pain in the ass to change these. So when I saw that, I thought, that's $5 because it's a pain in the bum. So to do anything for compression, I've got to change the pull cord and then check compression. It could have 5 pounds psi, so this is going to be a mystery machine. You know what I mean? I could be doing a lot of work for nothing. Assembled in Mexico. Emissions Control USA, California, 2016. MTD, Cleveland, Ohio. They had date of manufacture 11 of 2016. So a little bit newer than the Hitachi. Okay, that's all I got for you guys. I don't have anything more. There's no junk other than that 2-cycle junk. I'll put my son to work on this. Give him a cap out of the box, another cover, and I've got 3 or 4 of these discharge covers I can give him to put on, so I'll put him to work on this machine. You guys have a good day. Thanks for coming out. I'm gonna continue to motivate. Beautiful day in Southwest Florida. Nice breeze out of the north, not too strong. Probably be 75 to 80 degrees. Everyone's happy. Unfortunately, yesterday I was out here working, washing off a machine, and I hear somebody speeding by. I come out to the front to start working again, and somebody had hit a cat, unfortunately. A cat I've seen in the neighborhood, maybe a stray that seemed kind of skittish. So it got hit right in front of my house, so I ended up burying it. So that was the sad part of Friday. Cat got hit by a car, which is unfortunate. Anyway, you guys have a good day, good weekend. Don't want to give you bad news, but shit happens. Adios, amigos. Tip you waitress and waitstaff.